Hello everyone. Today I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to be working on English for the first half and then we're going to do math. So first we're going to start off with English. And today we're going to learn about writing opinion paragraphs. Okay? So let's get started. So let's start off with what's the difference between opinion and reason essays. An opinion is how a writer feels or what he or she thinks about something. A reason explains why the writer thinks or feels that way. A good writer uses linking words and phrases to connect his/hers opinions and reasons together. So, when writing an opinion, you always need to say the reason. Why do you think like that? So if you say, I like the color red, that's my choice, I like that. But why do I like the color red? Because it's beautiful. So, between the opinion, I like red, and the reason, because it's beautiful, there is supposed to be a linking word or phrase to connect both of them together. So let's take a look at how linking words can connect two ideas. So, I do not like birthday cake. Frosting is too sweet for me. Do we like that sentence? When you read these two sentences, they may seem like separate ideas at first. However, the first sentence is an opinion, and the second sentence is the reason why the writer feels this way. They are related ideas. Using a linking word or phrase connects these ideas to help the reader understand why the writer feels this way. So, they made these two sentences into one sentence. I do not like birthday cake because frosting is too sweet for me. They added this because. This sentence is clearer and helps the reader connect the writer's opinion and reason the first time it's read. So, when we first read it, it was separated into two different parts. The opinion, I don't like birthday cake, and then the reason, frosting is too sweet. But we don't need two separate sentences. That's one thought, that this is one complete thought. So you have to make it into one sentence. But to make it into one sentence, you remove the period and you put a connecting word. And in this case, the connecting word is because he's explaining why he does not like birthday cake. So, So let's look over some linking words. Okay, let's start with the word then. What does then mean? A then, we use it to connect when an event happens after something else happened first. So, this is an example. Kids should drink milk and eat lots of fruits and vegetables when they are young. Then they will grow up to be strong and healthy. So then shows that what happened after we did that. So do we understand the example? So it's saying kids should not drink milk and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables when they are young. Then they will grow up to be strong and healthy. So first the kids have to drink milk, eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, and then they grow up to be strong and healthy. So we use the then to show what will happen in the future after we do what we say we do. Okay? Our next linking word is but or however. So we use this when there's a conflict. An event happened in spite of a conflict. Okay, so this is an example. Carrie loves going to the park, but she does not love all the mosquitoes there. So why did they use the word but here? Because there's a conflict, right? Carrie says that she likes going to the park, but the conflict here is that she doesn't like that there's mosquitoes there. So she likes the park, but there's mosquitoes in the park, so she doesn't like that. That's the problem, conflict. So we say Carrie loves going to the park, but she does not love all the mosquitoes there. Okay. Next, for the word however, we have Brooke is not a good cook. However, she is a great baker. So we know, so basically the conflict in this is that she is not a good cook. But she's a great baker. However, she's a great baker. So what do we notice? For when we say but, when we use the word but here, Carrie loves going to the park. The happy bit, like the good bit, comes before the word, and then what she doesn't like, or the conflict, the issue, comes after it. But when we use for however, Brooke is not a good cook. The problem, the conflict comes first, and then the happy part comes, the good part comes, like what she's good at. So it's saying Brooke isn't a good cook, however, she is a great baker. Our next word is because or since. We all know why we use the word because, but let's just go over it again. So because, we use the word because or since it's a reason why the writer holds an opinion or why an event happens. So because is to just explain. To explain why you think that way or to explain what you just said. So it said, so the example is, it is too cold to go swimming outside because the temperature is only 60 degrees. So it's too cold to go swimming outside. That's your opinion. And now we use the word because to explain. That's the reasoning. Because the temperature is only 60 degrees, it's too cold to go swimming. Okay, so that's how we use the word because. So now let's look at the word since. Jacob does not like pepper on his food since it always makes him sneeze. So you can use because here too, but since is just another word you can use. So let's just review real quick what we did before we move on. So we use the word then to show what happens after an event. We use but or however to show a conflict or a problem or like the opposite. And now what we did was because, and we used the word because and since because that's to show the reason why we said that opinion or your opinion. Okay, let's move on to our next one. For example. Okay, for example is our next linking word. And we use this when you want to further explain or describe why the writer holds that opinion. Okay, so growing your own vegetable garden is a lot of work. For example, you must plant the seeds, water the seedlings, and fertilize the soil for several weeks. For this one, we're not explaining why it's a lot of work. We're just stating, the list. Or actually, we are saying this is a specific example of why it's a lot of work. He goes through the steps of why it's a lot of work, right? So let's move on. So this is the last one, and it's therefore and so. And we use that when an event that happens as a result of something else. So it's the effect to a cause. So here, Jacob practiced his soccer skills every day after school for 2 hours. Therefore, he was the best player on his team that season. So, what happened first? Jacob practiced his skills every day, and after he practiced it, what happened after? He was the best player. So that's the effect. The cause and the effect. So the therefore he is the best player on the team is the effect, and the cause, what caused that? Because he practiced after school every day. Okay, so that's how we use therefore to show the effect of your opinion. So now let's do so. We use so as the same way. Tim saved his money all summer, so he was able to buy a new bike. So what happened? The cause, he saved money all summer, and the effect, he was able to buy a new bike. Okay, let's practice some. So, let's try connecting some opinions and reasons together. Compare the details below. Use your ideas to connect an opinion and a reason with a linking word. So, here on this first one, they gave us the opinion and the reason. Now we have to figure out what linking word it is. So let's read the opinion. I think fall is the best time of year. And the reason he said that is the changing colors on the leaves are beautiful. So let's go back to our linking words. Let's look at this because linking word. Why do we use because? Because it explains why the writer chose that opinion, right? So in this same part, why did the writer choose, I think fall is the best time of the year? Because the changing colors on the leaves are beautiful. So let's do this. The complete sentence would be, I think fall is the best time of year because the changing colors on the leaves are beautiful. So we did our first one. Let's move on to the next one. It's good to brush your teeth every day. So in this one, they gave us the linking word, and we have to figure out the reason based on that and form the new sentence. So when do we use the word then? Let's go back to our... So when do we use the word then? It to show an event that happens after something else. So back to when we go here, it is good to brush your teeth every day. What happens after we brush our teeth every day? Then your teeth will be healthy, right? So when you brush your teeth every day, what happens after that? Your teeth become healthy, right? Your teeth are healthy. So first you have to brush your teeth every day, and then your teeth will be healthy. So your reason has to show what will happen in the future, what will happen after, because our linking word is then. So let's put our reason as, it is good to brush your teeth every day. Then your teeth will become healthy. So our new sentence is, it is good to brush your teeth every day. Then your teeth will be healthy. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So here, they didn't give us the opinion, but they gave us the linking word and the reason. Okay, So let's look at the linking word first. They gave us the word but. So when do we use the word but? Let's check. When there's a conflict. So when there's a conflict, or when we don't like something, or there's an issue, there's a problem, that's when we use but. Okay? So let's go back. Sorry. So let's look at this. We have our linking word but to show that there's a problem, the issue, and the issue is that he likes popcorn better. So our opinion can be, I like I like corn because popcorn comes from corn, but I like popcorn. Sorry. I like corn is our opinion, and our new sentence will be I like corn, but I like popcorn better. Does that make sense? So basically what you do is you just look at the linking word and or your opinion. You have to figure out what happens after. Like, what does your opinion mean? Are you trying to describe your opinion? Then you would use because. If you're trying to show what happens after your opinion, you use then. If you show that you like there's a problem in your opinion, like you like something more, then you use but. So you have to look at your opinion, know what you want to say, and then use the linking word and reason based on that. So I wanted to share some yes, so I wanted to share this persuasive writing. This is the Oreo method, okay? An Oreo is a cookie, and basically what we do, it's like a black and white cookie. We see here the cookies are black with white cream. We know that, right? On Oreo, we all know what an Oreo is. So we basically just use that to remember how to write our opinion writings. Okay? So O stands for opinion. Okay? So tell your readers how you feel about a certain topic. So in my opinion, everyone should, I believe that, I feel. You can use these to show your opinion. And then you do your reasoning. Tell your readers why you feel that way. First, secondly, thirdly, lastly. Like, you can have multiple reasonings, right? Like, I can like the color red for multiple reasons. So I can have like so many different reasons, right? Like, so first, second, third, last. And then next we have E for example. Give your readers 3 to 5 examples of why you feel that way. For example, this is when we use that for example, according to, in fact. For instance, so I like the color red because it's beautiful. For example, the sun. The sun is red, right? For example, the sun is really beautiful, right? For me, that's a specific example of why I think red is beautiful. Okay, so you have to make sure you have an example. And last, we close our Oreo with an O one more time, our opinion. And so you tell your readers one more time about your opinion. So it's basically like a conclusion paragraph. So you do, for all the above mentioned reasons, therefore I feel, in summary. You sum up your entire writing. Okay? So this is what your entire writing is supposed to look like. So one paragraph, a couple paragraphs, like 3 paragraphs, and then example in each paragraph, and then a closing. So we first share our opinion. We say why I like that opinion. And then you show an example. You say an example of why you think that opinion. And then finally, you just state your opinion one more time and say, for all of these reasons, I like this because of this. Okay, so that's the order you're supposed to go in. And for homework, or just for practice, we don't need to call it homework. Oh, this is actually the same. One more time. Let's just go over this one more time. This is the same Oreo method to organize your writing. Opinion. What do you think about that topic? How do you feel about that topic? And then the reason. Why do you think this way? Why do you feel this way? An example. What specific instance shows what your reason means? And then at the end, your opinion again. What do you think or feel, and why should the reader agree? This is the order you're supposed to go in, and you just basically have to answer each of these questions for each part of your writing. Okay? So now let's go over the quick practice example. This is a more simple one. This is a more basic one. Let's say for me, we're just gonna do this like quick. But for me, what if I say the best sport in the world is basketball, or let's soccer? What do I do first? Opinion, right? I state my opinion. In my opinion, I like soccer. Okay. My reason. I feel this way because I like the ball. And then you state your example of why you like soccer or whatever sport you picked. And then to sum it all up, you do that conclusion again. Okay? So this is like a simple one. If we wanted a more like organizer to organize it, because we're still doing this, we can do this. So here's just the graphic organizer of how you're supposed to go. So my opinion, let's say again with my favorite color is red. Reason, I think it's beautiful. And example number 1, the sun. But now I have another reason. I can like it because I don't have another reason. But whatever opinion you have multiple reasonings, okay? And then at the end, conclusion. So I think what we're going to do for homework is we're going to use the best sport in the world is sentence starter. You can pick whatever sport you want, any sport you want. And you just have to write, my favorite sport is blank. Pick your favorite sport, your reason example number 1, reason example number 2, number 3, and then your conclusion of stating your opinion again. Okay? Now, let's move on to math. Let's switch gears. Now we're going to start with math, and we're just going to do converting between units of time. So, we're going to solve problems that involve converting between units of time. So first, we all know what time is, right? So time is a tool that helps us keep track of when things happen or to measure how long something happened. We use a watch or a clock to keep track of time, such as the time school starts, when lunchtime or bedtime. We use calendars to keep track of days, months, and years. It helps us stay organized and allows us to plan special events. So, let's match this up, okay? So, 1 minute. How many seconds are in a minute? 60, right? So 60 seconds are in a minute. How many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes. How many hours are in a day? 24 hours. How many days are in a week? 7 days. how many weeks? This is supposed to say, okay, it's okay. How many weeks are in a year? 52 weeks. And how many days are in a year? 365 days. Okay, so this is the correct time conversions. We have to, if you don't already know this, then this is something you need to memorize. So it'll be more easy for you to solve problems in the future. So let's do our first problem. We need to convert 5 minutes into seconds. Okay, well, we just said here, in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. Okay, but there's 5 minutes here, so what do? You're right, we multiply 60 times 5. Okay, so now there's 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. There's 5 minutes in total with 60 seconds. So we just have to add up the 60 seconds and we get 300 seconds. So 60 seconds times 5 minutes is 300 seconds. Next, let's convert 2 minutes and 30 seconds into seconds. So we just said how many seconds are in a minute? We just said that, right? 60 seconds. But now we have 2 minutes. So what do we need to do? 60 times 2. But then we have this 30 seconds, so we have to add that 30 seconds. So 2 minutes plus the 30 seconds. So 60 plus 60 plus 30, which is 150. Next, let's go a little higher. 1 hour and 24 minutes into minutes. How many minutes are in an hour? 60, right? And there's 1 hour, so 160. And then 24 minutes. So 60 minutes plus 24 minutes. So it's 84. Let's practice. Okay, let's do this. So we have 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Okay, and we have to find the seconds. So we have to see how many seconds are in a minute. 60 seconds, right? And there's 3 minutes. So we have to do 60, 60, 60 for 3 minutes plus the 14 seconds. So what's 60 plus 60? 120. 120 plus 60, 180. And 180 plus 14, 194. Right? So let's check our answer. 194 seconds. See? Yay. 194. Next, we have 2 hours and 48 minutes, and we have to find the minutes. So whenever it gives you, okay, so you need to find the minutes. You need to see how many minutes are in one of this number. So here it says 2 hours, but here it said 3 minutes. So you have to see how many seconds are in 1 minute. So for here, we have minutes and we have hours. So we have to see how many minutes are in 1 hour. Okay, so how many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes, right? So 60 minutes are in an hour. But now we have 2 hours. So 60, 60, 2 hours. And then we have 48 minutes. So plus 48. So what's 60 plus 60? 120. And then 120 plus 48? 168. Let's check if that's right. That's right. Now, let's do next. So here we have days. So we have to see how many days goes into 1 week. So how many days are in a week? 7, right? And there's 5 weeks. So you do 7 times 5. So 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. For 5 weeks, 7 days. But then we also have the plus 4 days. So what's 7 times 5? 35. And 35 plus 4, 39. 39 days. Okay? It's actually pretty simple. It doesn't get too complicated. The only thing you need to do is make sure you memorize your units of time correctly. Okay? So let's practice some more. I have some more practice problems. Oh, that's the answers. I have some more practice problems we can do. So let's see here. We have 60 minutes to 1 hour. So 60 minutes is how many hours? 1, right? 60 minutes is 1 hour. So now we have to find, again, how many minutes are in 1 hour. Because we have hours. We're asked to find the minutes. So how many minutes are in 1 hour? 60 minutes, right? But we have 3. So 60 plus 60 plus 60, which is 180, right? Let's delete this. Let's do this one. So we're asked to find the hour in the minutes. But hours is greater than minutes, right? So how do we find it? Well, how many minutes are in 1 hour? 60, right? And there's 240. So we do 240 divided by 60, which is 4. So 240 minutes is 4 hours. So if you see how this equals to, and you're trying to find something that's bigger, you need to work backwards. Okay, so how many minutes are in 1 hour? Same thing here. How many minutes are in 1 hour? Right? There's 60 minutes in an hour, but 90 minus 60 is 30. So we have 30 minutes left. So this is 1 hour with a 60. 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we get that, right? So if you're asked to find something bigger, you need to go backwards. So, like I said, we're find minutes here, right? And we need to find the hours. So how many minutes are in an hour? 60, right? So you just take this number and divide it by 60. Same thing we did for this one. 90 over 60, we have 30 left, and that's how we get our answer. So same thing here, 615 divided by 60 equals 10. So what's 10 times 60? 600, right? So we have 600, but we have 15 minutes left, right? So it's 10 hours and 15 minutes. See? 10 hours, 15 minutes. Let's do some more. Let's do this one. So we're trying to see how many, there's 24 hours, and we're trying to see how many minutes is 24 hours. Well, minutes is smaller than hours, so we can multiply, we don't have to divide. When you're trying to go from big to small, you divide. If you go small to big, if you go small to big, you divide, and if you go big to small, then you multiply. So here we went minutes to hours. Minutes is smaller than hours, so we had to divide minutes, 1 hour in minutes, to the total amount. And here we just need to multiply, right? We just need how many minutes are in an hour, 60. And now we just need to multiply, and that gives us 60 times 24, which is, whoa, that's a big number, 1,440. So that's basically it. That's our practice. I think we did enough practice. I can send this sheet out so you guys can get some practice too. But the basic thing to know here is we need to memorize this. We all need to memorize this chart. And we need to remember when we go small to big, we divide. And if we go big to small, we multiply. So 1 hour, how many minutes are in an hour? 60. And so we divide that by this. And here, how many minutes are in an hour? And we just multiply that times 24. Okay, so it's opposite. These are just the answers, and I think we got them all. So yeah, 1,440 minutes. So I think we did get it all. Yeah, for this one, if it says like 45 minutes, how many equals how many hours? Well, how many minutes are an hour? 60, right? So this isn't even 1 hour. So you just have to put 45 minutes as the answer. And I think, yeah, 0 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, I did have one more presentation, but we don't have time for that. Those are unit conversions. Unit conversions, yes, we don't have time for this, but it's similar. Larger to smaller multiply, smaller to larger divide. This is, what we just did was for time, and now this is for measurement. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this example. I can send these practice ones out, or I can like send the slideshow out, whatever helps. Or we can go over this next class and we can figure it out. But for now, yes, for now we're going to just go, we went over time conversions, and opinion writing. So that's all we're going to do today. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you guys understood. I'm going to give you your homework and try your best to complete it. Okay, but thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day.